On 7th July last year, the African Continental Free Trade Agreement was launched during the 12th Extraordinary Session of the Assembly of the African Union in Niamey, Niger. An important aspiration of the agreement is to promote trade among Africa's 55 countries with a market of 1.2 billion people and a combined GDP of $3.4 trillion. As with regional blocs like the East African Common Market and COMESA, the promoters of this market initiative are keen on eliminating trade barriers that at times make it easy for African countries to trade with others outside the continent than fellow Africans. In this, the potential that the continent portends is expected to be released.
It is the most integrated regional economic bloc in the African continent. Studies have shown that, in fact. Trademark East Africa just conducted a study with the United Nations Economic Commission on Africa, which indicated that if Eastern Africa, that includes East Africa and the Horn of Africa, were to remove the tariffs as far as recommended by the Continental Free Trade Area, would see an increase in welfare gains of over $1.8 billion. And they would see an increase in trade in that particular region of over $1.1 billion. And the big result also is we would see an increase in jobs of over 2 million jobs would be created in this area. So there is huge impetus that the Africa Continental Free Trade Area should be implemented so that there is actually free movement of people and goods.
The Continental Agreement envisages elimination of import duties, removal of non-tariff barriers, with the aim of boosting African trade by 52.3%. But there are certain non-trade ingredients that are urgently needed for this to happen.
Yeah, politics, of course, is a key facilitator of trade. You can't, a lot of these agreements are being signed because of political will. Even bringing together the East African community was the political will of those presidents that decided we will therefore trade together. The Africa Continental Free Trade Area has been based on the political will, so you can't separate politics from trade facilitation.
The experiences from the smaller trading blocs like the East African Common Market, SADC and COMESA, however, highlight the Herculean task that lies ahead for the Africa Continental Free Trade Area to be fully actualized. There has been accusations of institution of non-tariff barriers and lack of political will in regional trading blocs, which should ideally be stepping stones or major inspiration points for the Continental Free Trade Area. Tanzania has in the past, for instance, been accused of barring Ugandan sugar from its market, while Kenya has been recently accused of stopping Ugandan dairy products from the Kenyan market. In the end, a single continental market for goods and services with free movement of persons and investment would be desirable. Question is whether the political elites are on board, for it largely depends on this class whether this initiative works or not.